Okay, here we go. I only wish I could film myself doing stuff like this.
Right?
So awesome.
I know, but I feel like I'm
You guys, we're just kind of hanging out here, so you can hang out with us. We've got a great razor cut going on. I see Brian's using the heel of his razor, keeping most of the blade away from the neck there, which is so important. A little bit of elevation. Nice. Oh, she's got a great hairline, doesn't she? Neckline. Beautiful.
You did?
I'm going to check out her profile. I love looking at her profiles when we're doing bobs. Dang. Sweet. The intent. The concentration.
That's like the TikTok challenge from hell.
What is?
The side profile.
Oh, what is the challenge?
Like, take a picture of your side profile.
And do what with it?
Just
take a picture?
Yeah, look at it.
Just look at it. Oh my gosh. Well, yours is beautiful. I love it.
Exactly.
You what?
I feel like this is dropping.
Oh.
Yeah.
Recently, I physically feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
shit.
You need to do, they call it face yoga, Brian.
I know, with the stones, right? And you'd like do
gua
the
sha stone.
Really?
Yeah.
But look at that gentle touch, delicate touch with that razor. It's beautiful. You guys, this is incredible live education. Like, this is happening right now.
Good.
Oh my god, I feel like every jeweler needs to.
Yeah.
One on the chart.
Yeah, one on the chart. Or both.
Excellent. Is there anything you guys want to know? If you want to ask some questions, go ahead. Because we have Brian Hickman right here, just chatting with us. There's Sarah over there. Hey. There we go. Sarah. And Niche over there. Woo. Yeah, you guys are getting lots of hearts, by the way. Cute girls over there.
Beautiful lady.
Like
I
this.
know.
You know? And it hit me on an eye when I was like,
I took that out.
So Brian, what do you consider when you're doing razor cutting? What are some of the things that you watch for?
I mean, it's like basically, I'm looking to create a really soft line, but I'm just looking to balance density, and if I need to control the hairline a little bit, so we shave some.
Yeah.
And then when I finish that last section, you could tell it's a little denser in the corners, so I just cut out some pockets there.
Okay.
I wanted to establish the length, and then we're just gonna build a really low triangular graduation. Just like I want this, the substance of the soft line before we did that, and then it's just gonna be really low, and then we're probably gonna do like a really soft, subtle, square layer in the crown to some length in the front. We really this is what we want to draw to, so it's just editing everything away to those pieces.
I love the terminology of that, just editing everything away. Because really, I mean, we do that. We edit hair.
Yeah.
We perceive it, we interpret it, and then we edit out what we don't want or what we perceive needs to go
Exactly.
away.
What's the good? What are the good things? Let's draw the eye.
What are the good spots, right?
Exactly.
Awesome. Nice. We're just going to hang out here, you guys. I mean, you're just getting a nice, just a little razor cut. This is very impromptu. We were having main session in the pavilion, and Brian and Jude just decided she needed a haircut, and here we go. So I hope you have a glass of wine and that you are just enjoying the time. Is her hair naturally wavy, Brian?
It is, right?
Yeah. And how do you manage the line when it's wavy?
I'm just using, I mean, with the razor, you have to use a decent amount of tension. I'm just looking to create a strong shape, and then, to help encourage it, I'm going to carve little pockets out as we go, like little inversions, I guess.
Okay. So you're going to make some space and...
Exactly.
Okay. Very cool. I know, Jude, you have the best view as you're getting your hair cut. Don't you guys wish you had this view? I mean, look at that. It's literally gorgeous out here. We got about 150 people here at Hair Camp.
I'm so confused. confused right now.
And there's like 11. Is there 11 educators, Brian?
I think so.
Like 11 educators right around there. And we're all doing different hands-on classes. And I did 2 classes in a yurt today, which was so much fun.
Around 10.
Yep, around 10 was my yurt.
Totally fine.
No,
Nice.
someone needs to overrule what you're saying. No one.
Yeah, just working very methodically, very purposefully, watching what the hair is doing, interpreting the hair as he's cutting.
No, but I've heard nothing but great things.
Yeah.
I did his haircut.
Awesome. Sometimes it's nice to go slow and just to feel your work, to really to understand what you're doing by feeling it.
Exactly. So yeah, I'll try to be intentional to be, of creating the shape, and then I'll be a little bit more aggressive with texturizing once we get this in.
Excellent.
But yeah, it's like I love that balance of texture and structure and texture.
Mm-hmm. We just had someone say they're in Brazil and they're in their pajamas in bed enjoying this, just very slow and methodical. Just kind of this is kind of a nice nighttime cut to watch. I love it. The artistry. I think whenever we watch artistry that is so elevated, it is very methodical. It's very very soothing to watch, because artistry in its truest form is really very soothing to watch someone when they know what they're doing. Where can you do that for somebody? Where are you, Brian?
Nashville.
Yeah, Brian is located in Nashville. He, you own partner with Local Honey in Nashville. So if you want to get something like this, that's a great place. Great place to go.
First weekend that like my real boyfriend was coming to visit me, and you're like, what's up? Because like
It's interesting because there's different density patterns around the head, and Jude obviously has a lot of density in this nape area. And so to build that properly takes time and finesse. And for me, watching as an artist, I love the way that he's combing the hair and he's finding those natural curvatures in the hair. It's really, because I cut with the razor all the time, and just feeling the hair and just kind of getting into it and sculpting, I think it's just such a great thing. So all you guys that just joined us, we are at Hair Camp in Cincinnati, just right outside of Cincinnati. How long have you been doing hair? Brian, how long have you been doing hair? Someone's asking.
24 years.
24 years. God, a lifetime, literally.
Yeah.
So 24 years of doing hair. And we find ourselves at Hair Camp. Look at this. We're like out in the middle of nowhere. Chris, say hi. Chris Jones. Yeah. This boy, I'd love to see him do a bob somewhere.
I've done like 2 this week.
You did
already.
2?
Yeah. Well, technically we've done about 28 so far.
Okay. Well, yeah, because you had all those people in your
Yeah.
class, right?
That's right.
So, Chris, what are you teaching in your class that's different? What about your bobs are different? Because I've followed you for a long time. They're absolutely gorgeous. But what is your thing? What hooks you with people
I think
into bobs?
the fact that I kind of specialize in a classic shape, like a timeless haircut that's been around long before me and will be around long after I'm gone.
Right.
So, but kind of putting like maybe today's twist on a classic haircut.
Okay.
So I've never really been super trend heavy, but I've always liked taking something very classic and then just like dusting it with trend, right?
Yeah.
So sticking to the basics, sticking to the classics.
Yeah.
And my goal is for for you to look at a picture of yourself 20 years from now and still like the way your hair looked then.
And if it's a classic shape, it will hold the test of time.
That's right.
I believe. Now, Chris, we have people asking, what is your Instagram handle?
It's Chris Jones _hair.
Yeah, you guys
Just
have
type in
to.
Chris Jones and it might pop up.
Yeah, he'll pop up. You have to follow him. He is an inspiration. Every time I see one of his videos, I'm like, I know that's him because of the incredible,
And the hands.
impeccable work. And the hands, yes, the hands for sure. For sure. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Okay, let's check this back out where Brian is on this cut. We've moved up into the back area, so we're outside of the nape. We're above the nape area now, and we are moving into the back. And Are you changing the stroke you're using or anything about this cut?
It's a little bit broader. Yeah.
Okay, a little more open.
Yeah, I feel like now that that's established, I can be a little bit looser with the stroke. And then, yeah, again, just kind of as I'm working, I'm examining, just wait, like, what do I need to do with, do I need to lighten stuff out? It seems like, honestly, this section is a little, the density is still there, but it's lightening up a little bit. And with this triangular graduation, we will build some stuff up in the corner, which I like, but I want to make sure it stays smooth.
Okay, awesome. So as Brian's moving up on this on the hair up into the back area, what he was saying is that he's moving into a little bit more of an open or broader stroke. So he's removing and texturizing a little bit more as you're cutting. Is that correct, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's gonna so I'm broader with the stroke, but in these pockets back here where we're building up more weight in the corner, I'm gonna go back and then
loosen them up a little.
bit more.
Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful. Nice. I love watching razor cutting because it's such a sculpting type of feeling. I mean, you could totally do this with scissors as well, but you would have to do a ton of texturizing to create the same result. I think, anyway. You can hear the band. They're called, what is the band? Motherload? Motherload? I think Mother Folk. I knew Motherload wasn't the right one. Mother Folk. We're waiting for a band to start. If you guys are just joining us, we are at Hair Camp in Camp Joy, right outside of Cincinnati. And I shouldn't say right outside. We flew into Cincinnati and it was about an hour drive. But this place is absolutely, I mean, it's magical. Even look at the sky. Yeah, we are like hanging out, just had main session. Brianna Cisneros just shared her story. Jamie Dana was on stage. So we've got some great educators, some world-class things going on, but I can't think of anything better than right now being able to be outside watching Brian do this cut. Of course, this is Jude Viola. And Jude, what's your Instagram? Jude Viola. There we go. Look her up, Jude Viola. She's an amazing educator. I kind of want to be in one of those shots. Look at this. He's filming.
This straight razor, is this a like disposable blade or is this a blade that you sharpen?
It's a disposable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the question on that was, is
Plie
this a
blade.
disposable blade? Is it a plie razor? Plie? Yeah. It's a plie razor blade. So it's a disposable. And Brian, do you change out your blade every time you do a cut, or how?
More by feel. Like,
More by feel?
When it starts dragging.
Yeah. So if it starts dragging in the middle of a cut, you would change it. Yeah. You could change it one time during a cut. I know. I can kind of feel when it just isn't cutting quite right. Yeah.
It just starts dragging.
Yep. Okay, so we've got those diagonal forward sections. We are working with a diagonal forward shape, so it's getting slightly longer in the front. The weight is lifted up in the back. And so the partings really dictate what we're going to see in the end result.
I'd rather, the weight build up, back into here, and then this stays strong. I think that'll create a better visual balance in terms of like this will be airier just because of its nature, and then we'll kind of carve that out. And then, like I said, we'll do something a little bit more subtle through the top, just to. I prefer a low graduation and then like a layer that like a really minimal layer that exists right here to gain, because it rather than like a full on graduation. To me, it's like it just lays more like a soft graduation without the effort.
Yeah, Brian, show me that shape that you're going to create again with your hands, what you were just doing from a side view. So you guys can see
once
this.
Once we establish all the length, we'll pull a section up here and just knock off the corner.
Okay.
And then build.
Nice. So you're going to build up your graduation and then give a little bit of a layer to that top.
This is like a super low, super subtle graduation.
Okay.
I like the balance of what that does, where it's like there's still the weight that rests over, so it's not a lot of effort and there's no movement. But then I think you get more of that balance rather than all of it sitting on top.
I love it. Love it. What would you guys like to know? What would you like to ask Brian about this cut? Do you guys cut with a razor very much.
Oh,
How do you know which side of the razor to use when you're using, say, the tip of the razor or the heel of the razor? What is your guide?
Generally, left to right, I'm using the tip, and right to left, I'm using the heel. That is a generalization.
Okay, so the generalization is when you're working from left to right, so you're working toward the right-hand side, you're using the toe, the tip of the razor.
And then coming back this way as well.
When you're working the other way, you're working with the heel or the bottom of the razor.
Yeah, just more natural.
Yeah, and it keeps the most of the blade away from the client too. It protects them.
For sure.
Nice. Okay, so we are in outside of Cincinnati at Hair Camp, and Hair Camp has been the most amazing experience so far. As an educator, I arrived yesterday, and we were shuttled. Jude and I rode we rode together about an hour long, so I got to know this lovely woman. Yeah. Yeah. And we got to spend some time together. And we're about an hour outside of Cincinnati at a really great camp called Hair Camp. And some people have done a ropes course today. I think we're doing archery tomorrow, which would be absolutely fantastic. And what? Zip lining, yes. So we're combining all things camping and nature and hairdressing. And what I love about it so much is that it's allowed us as hairdressers just to kind of let down our guard and to have fun together. And we are just, like the educators, all the campers, we're kind of hanging out together. And it's just been a really fun time. So Brian is working on this bob on Jude Viola, and he's working with his razor, and we're creating some graduation in the back. And he started out in the nape area with creating his line, and with a light elevation. He's increased his elevation just slightly. He's creating some graduation in the shape, and as he passed into the back area above the nape, he started opening up the stroke of his razor. So he's giving a little bit more texture to that line, and wanting to keep all that length in the front. And I think she's got such a beautiful profile. This is going to be awesome. So as he's moving into the crown area, he said he was going to work a little bit of a layering pattern once this base is finished. And I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. Hi, Jude.
Oh, thanks.
Hello, baby.
A haircut and a lap dance.
Lap dance and haircut. Woo! Now, with those diagonal back sections and how you're holding the hair right now, tell me about that, Brian, because I want to know.
So it's just to me, it's that pocket that's building up.
Yeah.
Again, I like in certain instances where you're building up the weight, so you're going to get that down, but I still want it to be soft. So it's just looking at what we've created, and then just looking at that's where the density is to me. So that's where I'm kind of carving out little pockets.
So you're finding the density first and then just personalizing it for her.
Exactly.
Nice. Ooh, look at that against the sky. That's a great view. What would you guys like to know about razor cutting? What have you always wanted to ask that Brian could answer?
Hopefully I know.
Yeah, hopefully he knows what you want.
Dangers of cutting razor on curls.
Ooh, okay.
Well,
I like that. Okay, danger of cutting with razor on curls. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, that's
Why is there a danger?
Like the urban
Someone says
thing that you don't cut
perfection.
curls with razors.
Yeah, some people think you can't cut curls with razors. What would you respond to that?
What do you think, dude? I'm curious what you think.
I mean, I think anytime you're cutting hair, we should be respecting the texture, right?
Okay, so what does that mean to respect the texture?
To look at what it naturally does and then consider how you can encourage it versus breaking it down.
Okay. So encouraging the curl versus breaking it down.
So maybe
I think it would be even more considering coarseness, or you know what I mean, rather than curl, because you can even think that about if it's over processed, or it's anything that's that's too dry, I probably, are too like brittle or coarse. So it just probably, to me, it would depend on the type of curl, rather than just like as a broad thing, right?
Yeah, I agree. I consider razor or like freehand slicing, something like that. Those are friction techniques. You're creating friction on the hair. And if the hair can't handle friction, whether it be a razor or freehand slicing, it's usually kind of that coarser, drier type of a hair.
Or when it has no cuticle left.
Yeah, or when it has no cuticle left.
Interesting.
So I see you going in, Brian, with both the tip of your razor and then the flat blade of your razor to do different texture. What is the difference between those two?
In terms of, sorry, I'm like so in the mental zone.
I know, you're
right now.
mentally in this. Sorry, I'm distracting you.
That's okay.
So sometimes you go in like flat,
Like this,
you go like
or
that, which
that,
is a
or
point,
that.
or that, yeah.
Yeah.
So when
this,
you go with the point.
This is creating the line,
Okay.
and then this is creating space between the line.
Okay, so creating space between the line versus the line.
Yeah, so like this, so like I don't really separate it like this, but mentally I separate it.
Okay.
And then I like pick a point A and then kind of go down to the corner point B. So it's just like creating these steep triangles to help collapse and separate that movement.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. So this is pretty quick. I mean, you're moving through this at a good speed.
Got to beat the light.
Yeah, got to beat the light. It is getting darker out here. Once again, we are at Camp Joy. And outside of Cincinnati, and we're at a place where we are at hair camp. We've got people like setting up their lights. Give us a light. Hairdressers. We're always like, it's just very inventive. We are at hair camp, and hair camp is an amazing. Oh, the band is going to start. Oh, sound check. Okay. Hair camp is this amazing place where all of us are coming together, and we are literally in yurts, lodges. Is anybody in a tent though? No one's in a tent.
I'm in a yurt.
A yurt is not a tent, Chris. No, it's not.
It's a real.
Well, it's.
I mean, no. I'm working in a yurt.
Oh, you're working. We're working in yurts. He's sleeping in a cabin. Chris, you're sleeping in a cabin, right? Yeah, sleeping in a cabin. Yep. Okay.
Work in a yurt.
Work in a yurt, sleep in a cabin.
The yurt was cool, right?
I know the yurts are really cool. So, we've got. How many different hands-on classes? I think we have like 11 different classes. There's like 4 or 5 hands-on classes. And hey, Chris, tell me about your hands-on class again. What did you guys do? Did you cut hair? This is Chris Jones, you guys. Check him out on Instagram at Chris Jones. Christopher or Chris? Chris, yeah, just Chris.
I mean, my real name is Christopher. John
But
Christopher.
yeah, but we're
It's
doing
not
Chris.
Christopher Jones
Yeah.
_
Yeah. Do you guys follow him? Give me some hearts for those people that follow. There come the hearts. Yep.
So
Okay.
you want to know what I did?
Yeah. What did you do in your class?
So Timothy was there. What did we do?
Timothy,
Ask
who?
him what we
Timothy,
did.
what did we do?
He took the class.
We did a very classic haircut.
Okay.
And Chris made it very sleek and approachable and fresh.
Nice.
Yeah. Something we've done over and over and over.
Yeah,
and over
but
and
a
over
different
and
twist
over.
on it.
And I look at Chris and I'm like, I've done that over and over and over. And then we get in there and it's
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. And I heard you were blow drying in the trees. They're like you're outside blow
wasn't.
drying in the trees.
No,
Flat iron in the
I
trees.
sent them to the trees. No, so we
Nice.
lost power. So we're in a, it's called a yurt, which I think is like a round, like a tent type.
Tent, yeah, with
And-
electricity.
There was electricity, but it would only support 2 blow dryers, and I think we had like 16 or something like that. So we lost all power. So the class got creative and went outside, and everywhere there's a light pole is a electrical box at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So we literally had people blow drying in the wilderness, which
is
was
great.
Probably the highlight of my trip. So
I hope you got some pictures of that.
on my story right now, I have a very funny video
Okay.
of people blow drying outside.
You guys
So-
go to Christopher Jones, Chris Jones
_hair. Yeah.
underscore hair to
Yeah.
see blow drying and flat ironing in the woods.
woods, yeah.
Nice. Okay, let's come back here and see where we're at. I want to follow this through until he does his layering pattern so you guys can see that. I know a lot of you guys have been on for the whole time.
Okay.
And we're moving into the side area. And Brian, what are some things that you consider when you're moving into the sides from the back?
I mean, with the ear protrusion, we need tension to cut with the razor.
Okay.
So I'm gonna initially over direct this stuff back and cut it down here, and then I'll separate it, and then I'll cut what's in front of the ear, and then I can kind of look and assess, do I need to make any adjustments from that? But see how all that's coming back?
Yeah. Okay, so what Brian is talking about here, I'm going to just kind of say it because I know the background is getting a little loud with the band getting ready. But the ear area is definitely an area that you want to take into consideration because you want to keep tension when you're working with a razor. But if you apply tension over the ear area, you're going to get the baseline popping up. So he's over-directed that hair behind the ear, and then he'll work in front of the ear. So he can maintain tension without it springing up. And you can see that he just transferred his guide from the back to the front. I love that. Beautiful. And it looks like you're using maybe a little bit smaller stroke as you move around to that front, Brian. Is that correct? Okay.
And I've left that front out too, if you notice, just because I want to, when I cut to the front, know that I'm hitting where I want it to hit right away, rather than doing traditional. And I'll do that a fair amount, like carve out a little bit at the front
and
hairline.
Then bring it down.
So then I'm just getting right where I want to go, and I know it's right at the spot. Rather than I cut that, keep cutting the sections, then I get to the last section, I'm like,
you're like, oops.
Oh, I built up more length than I wanted to right there. So it's getting there right away.
Nice. Okay. Are you guys enjoying this? Seeing this whole cut and what's happening? This is just very impromptu. So it's just happening right in front of me. So I thought I would share it with you. And then he's going in and carving those pieces out.
So I'm going to leave a little bit drop over the ear.
Okay. Drop over the ear.
What's naturally dropping, and then right in front of that and right behind that, I'm carving out.
Now, I love how you're coming in behind like that. I haven't done that before.
Yeah, I usually try to cut front to back, knowing that I want to maintain the corners up here, so just being consistent. So both sides
So my question then, Brian, would be, why didn't you come from the front into your section and you came underneath and out? What does that do for you?
Well, because if I went from the top, it would be incredibly awkward, right, to go. So I have to go that. And of course you have to elevate a little bit more, but it's just more comfortable.
Okay, I'm going to try that. I like that. Is that new for you guys? Coming in from behind like that to create your texture. Give me some hearts if you guys have done that before, or if that's new for you. I think he'll do it again on this section. Are you going to do it again? Okay, he's going to do it again on this section. I think this is my takeaway right now from this haircut. Tons of hearts, Brian.
That makes me happy.
Okay, so you're going to part it again and do behind the ear and in front of the ear. This
and
is
I don't have to be as I don't have to do all of it.
Right.
But I'm just kind of letting what it naturally splits.
Where it splits.
And then I'll.
And that's so you can maintain tension and not have the ear make it jump.
Exactly.
Big takeaway. Love it. Okay. So there we go. Very nice little line.
And I can I can elevate this up a little bit.
Yeah, he's elevating just just slightly away, so it's not all the way down at zero.
And this checking, right? So that makes me happy. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. There's not a hole in there.
Okay.
There's a little, again, I can see a little weight building up though, right? Which is natural. I want, you can see that graduation sets really low and heavy, which I want. But again, just then I can loosen that up.
Okay, I want to get this. So you're going to come in behind. Okay, so watch how he puts his razor behind and then he comes forward instead of working on top.
You can see the bits there.
Yeah,
That's what that's.
That's awesome.
And again, just looking in front, but.
That's great. So it looks like you're not working all the way down to the. It's gorgeous. I love it. Okay, for all of you guys that just joined, we're at Hair Camp outside of Cincinnati, and we're at a place called Camp Joy. And we have people we've got Jules over there from Australia.
That's the long side.
Pete. We got a whole crew here. We've got a band playing tonight. We've done ropes courses. We've done hands-on education. And we're just working with some incredible artists and incredible campers. I've met some of the most amazing people here. So Brian is finishing up the top of the cut now, still working kind of at that same elevation. Okay. Awesome. Checking it out. Okay, so I've got Brian Hickman here from Nashville and Jude Viola. Oops, is it Viola or Viola? Viola, I got it right the second time. It's Jude Viola, and they are other educators here at Hair Camp. Amazing artists, and Jude just said, hey, I want a haircut. And Brian said, okay, let's do it under the stars. And it's almost star time. It's getting late here. He's trying to finish before we go into midnight. Well, it's only what? It's 9:15 almost. So we're doing good.
I'm just gonna do a little.
Okay. You're going in with your scissors just to clean it up? Okay.
It's just something I can't get at.
Yeah, it's hard to take off a small amount with a razor.
Especially on it, yeah. Like
Yeah, on the neck. You don't want to dig in too deep on the neck. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to post a picture in my stories. In just a little while, I'll get a picture of the end result. Yeah, growth patterns and all sorts of things. So we still have people just joining. So you guys that just joined, do you want to see the other side? Do you want to see how he cuts the other side? Or do you just want to see the finished result? Tell me. Talk to me. Oh, waving. Okay, wave if you want to continue. You want me to just continue? Because I can. I'm just hanging out. I'm going to watch the whole thing. Okay, we're getting a lot of waves. Brian, people want to see it, so we're going to do it. I'll continue to be right on top of his business here. Okay, so you're taking diagonal forward sections right now, and I love how you're leaving that hairline out. Was this what you were talking about earlier, that you leave this part out so you can see it?
Yeah, I can see exactly where I'm going.
I like that. I've been working a lot with Jacob, and he leaves that front section out too. Connection. Nope, we're back. Okay, it's kind of pausing due to connection, but that's because so many people are joining, wanting to see what we're doing. Okay, there's that tuck behind the ear. And Brian explained earlier that that's because of wanting to be able to hold the hair with tension and have it not pop out behind the ear area. I love that. It's beautiful. And he's using the tip of the razor, or what we call the toe? Yeah, the toe of the razor. So the top of the razor, keeping most of the blade away from the client. And then when you work the opposite direction, you're working with the heel, which is the other end. And that keeps the blade away on the other side. So working with that tip.
Still a clean line. Kind of, slightly over directing that, what's above the recession back.
Okay. Nice.
Check.
Oh, Jacob Kahn is joining us. Jacob, this is Brian Hickman. Say hello. Hey, I'm at Hair Camp right now.
Together before COVID happened.
Yeah, you guys were supposed to be together before COVID happened. This is Jude Viola. I know you know her. Say hi, Jake.
Hi, Jake.
There we go. We're just kind of checking it out. We're at Hair Camp here, right outside of Cincinnati, about an hour outside of the city. It's beautiful. A band is getting ready to play, and this is an impromptu haircut, and I just thought I'd show it to everybody because it's so cool.
I'm sorry.
Oh, God, don't worry about it. I throw it on the ground all the time. Hey, here we go. So what Brian has done so far is he's worked through the nape area, taking off some length because her hair was down about, I don't know, about here. It was pretty long.
This, like that kind of stuff, and I was like,
And then keeping most all of the length around the front. And I love what he's doing right here, which is splitting the hair right at the ear area in order to get the ear. So he's splitting it so that it does not pop up over the ear. And I really like that. That is my big takeaway for this particular cut, is being able to do that so that you can still maintain tension. Because when you're razor cutting, you really do have to keep your tension on the hair. And Ben, if you're watching, I know that you're jealous of my very good recording skills. I learned from you. Now, you're creating a little bit more of a blunt line there. I like that.
It's just a little.
Can you show me that a little closer up?
Basically, it's like putting it on the finger.
Not ready for this. Love it.
Like chipping.
Yep. And that's a straight edge, you guys. He's doing that, just doing a little bit of a turn. So placing the razor right on his finger and then turning it and pulling away, which gives a blunt line. And this is what I love. I love that coming in from behind. So from the interior.
This one, and this, like as we move above it here, I am going to be coming from the top just because I want to stay consistent.
And so you can work from the back to the front. Because short hair pushes long, so it's like pushing the hair toward the front. Love it. I can see exactly what you're talking about there and why you would use the razor the opposite way on the other side. Now, Brian, as you move to the top, I'm excited to see how you use your razor on the top.
I actually think I'm going to switch to shear.
You're going to go ahead and switch?
Because it's just like a super subtle thing, and it's
just
way more comfortable for me.
And I find it hard to take small amounts of hair off with the razor. And if you're trying to only remove a little bit, it can be really difficult.
So just like on the top of the head, it's just easier and quicker for me to control that.
Yeah.
And then I'll kind of assess, if I need to slice things out.
Right. Nice. This has been great watching Brian work so closely, up close with the razor, because he's just a master with it. And I love watching people that can control the hair and create shape with the hair in a sculpting way, but also technical, very technical with what he's doing. Working in the different areas of the head.
I'm just letting that drop out. You can see it's denser here.
More density, yeah.
But see how it's like, it's just weak. It's stronger there. It's a little weaker there. So it's just looking to balance, balance that.
So you're weakening the strong area to make it balance with the weaker area, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, beautiful.
To me, it's a lot of it is just balancing that visually. So, same thing with the graduation. Like, see how low that is and see what that does to the profile.
Yeah.
Everyone's denser, right? We have 3 to 4 inches more hair back there. So in profile, if you can soften that a little bit, I just think rather than that big, poof. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just with the density of her hair, which is great, I think it's just, to me, that's a much better profile.
Yeah, I agree. It's beautiful.
So it's getting really dark, and it's going to be...
We're losing some light out here. Brian, can you still see what you're doing with the razor there?
It surprises me, but just that little bit of light.
I know, it's like working. I'm like, can I put on my flashlight right now? Yeah. Do you have some lighting, Adam? So we have a camper over here, Adam. From where? Adam, where are you from?
San Francisco.
Adam is from San Francisco. He's going to shed some light on the subject. Thank you. Brian says thank you. Okay, so just checking that balance. Checking the balance. Here we go. Beautiful. Okay, so Brian is switching to his scissors right now just to kind of clean up some lines and then also to move into just a very subtle layering on the top.
Will be like super quick. The top will come together soon.
Okay.
It's like an incredibly small nibble to
just nibbling.
To soften to where that little shorter bit is. And so now I'm just gonna like quickly up here, come across.
I want to see that sectioning pattern on the top, what you're going to do.
Yeah, it's super simple, but I think it makes, like, those subtle details can make the big,
Yeah.
make such a big impact.
Well, and sometimes when things are super simple, that's when they're actually complicated. What are the scissors you're using? People are asking.
I'm using a Mizutani.
A Mizutani.
I'm gonna look here. It's basically just gonna be cutting this corner off, but I also want to see where I'm gonna be cutting to. So again, I like to drop out like the front and what I feel good about in terms of density around the edges. Not that I'm gonna get to that, and then I'm gonna look at where this corner exists right here, up here.
Okay, the corner where?
Up front. So
Okay,
it's like
right up front.
Point A, point B. So I'm just looking to do a little bit of that.
Okay, a little short in the back to longer
Yeah,
in the front?
And for the most part, it's only going to exist above the recession.
Okay,
So,
above the recession.
yeah, so it's like just to soften that surface up.
Nice. We got people directing. We got all for you guys watching live. We got everybody. Look at this. You guys have to watch this. Look at all of our lights on. Everyone has their lights on. Look, Adam's got 2. I love it. Okay, Brian, hit it. We're going to the music now. Cutting off that top.
Cutting the corner. I'm just going to pull back and check. I can do this incredibly fast. It's just dust, right?
Just dusting right now.
Check there. Nothing there.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
now it's just like a
Central vertical.
I don't want to cut all the way. Look at where the corner is up front. It's like what I feel good about left out, and then that's where I'm going to cut to.
Yeah. So you're protecting the perimeter right now by leaving hair out.
I'm not cutting all the way up there.
Yeah. So someone asked, what divisions did you make for this cut? I'm assuming that is in like your baseline down here. Use diagonal sections?
Yeah,
Okay.
diagonal.
Okay. Diagonal, and now you're using vertical, central vertical across the top.
So
Nice.
there's the guide I just cut. There's where I want to cut to.
Nice. And just doing a nice point cutting. Awesome. Love it. And for you guys that just joined, we are outside of Cincinnati at a place called Camp Joy, and we are attending an event and participating in an event called Hair Camp. Look up haircamp.com, look up @haircamp on your Instagram. It is the most incredible educational event I think I've ever been a part of. Yeah, Brian, you agree? Yeah, and this is Jude Viola, and she's one of the educators as well. Mish, and who else? There's Chris Jones back there. Say hi, Chris. He's not paying any attention to us. But it's been just an incredible first day. We actually taught in yurts and cabins with a small amount of electricity. So some people were blow drying in the trees, literally, which is really cool. There are like 4 hands-on sessions and then a lot of color sessions. Brianna Cisneros is here. Jamie Dana's doing some stuff for Instagram and how not to get burnt out on Instagram. And we've had zip lining tomorrow. What'd you guys do? Ropes course? Ropes course, was that it? Oh, hello.
Hi.
Tell me who you are, darling.
I'm Andy.
Andy, what's your Instagram, Andy?
Andy_Dutch.
There we go. And he was teaching as well. What was your class? Was Sketch
and Sculpt.
Sketch and Sculpt. Tell me a little bit about Sketch and Sculpt.
All right.
Yeah, just a little. I wanted to take your class.
Oh, I wish I could take yours. Sketch and Sculpt, sketching in the shape wet, originally with a razor, rough draft of a shape, going in and using dry texturizing or dry cutting shears.
Okay.
After it's dry to finalize or sculpt the shape into.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's cute.
Oh. No, when I saw your class, I was like, dang, I want to take that. I wish I wasn't teaching.
Well, we can always hang out.
I know, we can hang out and do things. Okay, back to Brian. Tell me about your texturizing. What you doing right
We're
now?
just going through, like, that to me gave us the structure, and now we want to see a little bit more movement on the surface. But same as before, like I don't want to. I want that movement pushing, but I want the surface to like be pushing from underneath, I guess.
So the surface to push from underneath. I like that. Let me move around so if I can catch that a little bit differently.
Can you kind of have a video of my shadow?
Absolutely, I can.
Yeah, I like that.
So it's a little bit more aggressive, right?
Yeah. So are you looking for just texture inside, or do you want surface texture as well?
A little of both.
A little of both?
But like, so we're close to the surface, but I prefer it's kind of like slightly coming in from underneath. But she wants that movement too.
Yeah.
In there, some push.
She's got great hair, great movement in her hair. Find the spot.
I know. It was the perfect
There we go.
Andy, and then it went away. Andy, it's just a mental picture now.
Okay.
That's okay too.
Okay.
Are you guys enjoying this explanation and just seeing this impromptu cut here from Hair Camp? I love watching him work with that razor. It's beautiful. It's a very different thing to cut hair off and to cut hair off with intention and such finesse. We're not going any shorter in the nape area. We already took a good, I'd say, 3 inches off of that nape area, and it's absolutely beautiful. Hi, Turkey. Why are you, Brian? We do have a question of why are you over directing forward when you were doing that texture?
Elevate off and because of, I guess, the direction of that, but also like knowing that when that drops down, just the way that that's going to push.
Okay,
yeah.
so the way that it drops down, knowing how it's going to push. When you pull it forward and cut, you're going to get a little push back and some movement. So contradictory movement, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. And what product did you just put in?
I use a paste, R&Co mannequin paste. It just has a little bit of tack, and I want like the separation on that.
Okay,
I'm going to
so
re-dampen her just a little bit, and then just let her.
okay, so a little bit of paste, which gives him some texture. Now he's going to re-dampen the hair, and you can hear the band getting going in the background. This is insane. I love this. Adam, you're awesome. Look at him. He's like got the lights going on. Look at this cut, you guys. Isn't that beautiful? And I love that we still have a nice structured line around the bottom here. And that, I love that he created that by parting the hair right at the ear and over directing some back and some forward. So the product was an R&Co paste.
Yeah,
So
I'm not affiliated at all with R&Co. That paste is my favorite product I've ever used. It's just incredibly versatile.
yeah, so it's a nice cutting tool to work into the hair as you're finishing up.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, will you let this air dry, or are you going to go in and blow dry it?
We'll let it air dry, and then if we need to do something tomorrow.
Yeah,
Like, I
tomorrow.
kinda
We
like
could
it.
continue this
It
cut
actually
tomorrow.
does. If we need to adjust it.
Nice. Checking that balance. And I love this profile on Jude. Isn't that pretty? I mean, she's got a great profile. Yeah, everyone loves the short and back. Okay, you guys, that's it from Hair Camp. Brian, thank you so much for giving us that little lesson. Jude, you were a beautiful model. Love it. And thank you, everybody, for Andy. Thank you.